Thank you for coming onto this webinar. I'm so excited to meet with all of you. The reason that you're here is because you're feeling under stress, or maybe you're experiencing anxiety while trying to juggle a property business, but find it hard to keep up with all other commitments that you have. Let me share with you my story. When I first started my property business, I had the idea to earn passive income through property because I didn't want to sacrifice the quality time with my kids and spend more than 12 hours every day away from them. I was certain that there was another way to support my family without having to trade money for time. Determined and thirsty, I dived into the property business without fear, having only a vision in my mind that I could work from anywhere else, and even while raising 3 kids. Well, it then became 4 as time went by. The motivation was strong, but my experience in property was little. My ambition was soon met with a series of challenges. Little did I know that not only finding the right deals, stacking deals, and finding finances for these deals were a great challenge, but the utility provider, the council, and even the letting agent were taking much of my time as well. All of this was done from a far distance, as I do not reside in the same time zone as where my property business is. I'm doing it all from Hong Kong, which is 7 hours ahead in summer and 8 hours ahead in winter. My daily routine looks like this. After I've sent my kids to school and kindergarten in the morning, I sit in the library to stack deals or do research on the properties. Then I'll have to pick up the youngest one from the kindergarten, have lunch with them, and assist the kids with their homework and study. After that, there comes the dinner time, and soon after the bedtime stories, etc. Very often I can only have time to work when the kids are asleep. This was the usual plan, but it rarely happens according to script. Very often I have to make calls in the evening, even when the baby has still not fallen asleep yet. Or when I was trying to finish writing an investor pack in the afternoon, the kids were fighting with each other, and one of them would end up in a meltdown. And if I had to call the utility provider after finally a long wait of over half an hour, when I thought it should be my turn to speak to the agent soon, one of the kids woke up crying, and I had to painfully hang up and bring the kid to bed. Despite my love for building my property business, I soon realized that I was drowning in the day-to-day chaos. You join different property social media groups for accountability and support. You take coaching calls because you want to learn to do the deal in the right way. But all this support does not bring you further when it comes to running the actual business. I didn't want to be all alone facing all this stress. I needed a teammate. Someone who would stand on my side and assist me in doing the admin and follow-up stuff, make phone calls when I'm bringing the kids to bed, and find leads when I am assisting my kids with their homework. But being in a startup business, I was very cost conscious. I wasn't able to afford anyone full-time, so I turned to looking for someone part-time offshore. But could I trust them? How could I ensure that despite the distance, we could communicate seamlessly? I had my doubts, but I knew I needed help. The best decision I've made was to evaluate my situation with reasons and take action, and at the same time disregard the doubts that pulled me back. So I hired my very first VA. Well, of course, I had to train my assistant with property knowledge, and it took us quite a while to create different systems and automations, create a website, manage viewings, etc. That has freed me from tasks that had cost me nerves and time but didn't make use of my unique strengths. Have you ever experienced that feeling when you know that something needs to be dealt with, but you don't know the extent of it? That feeling that would make your stomach churn and your lips tightly sealed while you unconsciously let out deep breaths that won't provide any relief. I was so glad that the constraining feeling was at last lifted off my chest. Hiring that very first VA didn't just save me time, it gave me back my sanity. I went from being a frantic one-woman-does-all property investor to a strategic investor, and I was able to be present for my family, both physically and mentally. As my property business started to grow, I've gained experience in different strategies, stretching from buy-to-let to HMO, SA lease options, rent-to-rent, and title splitting. Fellow investors started to get curious about how I manage everything from Hong Kong. After sharing my tips on how I manage my time and also how I make use of a VA, one investor asked me to help her find a VA to be able to help her with her property business. After doing some research, I realized that it was near impossible to find a VA who understands the property market in the UK and investment strategies that investors employ in the UK. Some agencies charge the customer for as long as they use the VA. Others charge a one-off fee but do not provide any after-sale support. In either case, the investor will have to spend time to train their VA, and not a single VA agency is providing property-trained VA services targeting UK property investors. And not a single VA agency is supported by someone who understands the industry and is active in the industry as well. So I reverted to the investor friend and told her about my findings. Then the course-changing moment happened when she said, "If you can find and train someone from a distance to help you with your business, I'm sure you can help me find and train one too." Then I came up with a unique solution that solved all the problems. I started VLine with one mission in mind: provide a 6-month hand-holding period of property-trained VAs to investors with a mission to take away their day-to-day burden and save the investors time and money so that they can enjoy time and location freedom on day one. This is probably the question you have in your mind. Why would anyone want to hire VAs if there's so much workforce available on the market and the increasing use of AI? These two reasons are very valid, and we'll definitely dive into them later. Let's break down the advantage a VA can bring you. Number 1, a VA can save you time. Have you ever come across any tasks that you are not good at or fond of doing? How did you go about it? Did you still do it anyway but find the process taking longer than planned? Or do you procrastinate on doing it, which you should have begun 2 weeks ago? Either way, it takes you longer to get it done. And I'm certain that this was not a one-off case but a recurring one. Ever wonder why that is the case? Let me tell you, it's not your fault. Sometimes it's not about the complexity of a task, but the emotional and mental blockage. Why? Because the business is about you. Between you and your business is a very personal and delicate relationship. Therefore, it's easy to feel trapped. Having another person to handle these tasks is definitely a better idea, and there's no emotional attachment. A study in 2023 shows that knowledge workers lose an average of 96 minutes every workday to routine tasks like inbox scheduling, data entry, and follow-ups. That's nearly 8 hours a week, essentially a full workday lost to activities of second-level importance. Now reinvest these saved hours into calls with landlords or your power team, further drill into your deal analysis, or plan your property business. And do the high-value work that takes your business to the next level. Even by just delegating 70% of these non-core activities, which is about 5.6 hours to a VA, is already a substantial amount of time saved. Number 2, VA can save you money. The cost of hiring someone part-time from the Philippines is lower. You don't have to pay for the holiday, insurance, workspace, or the technical equipment for the VA. The cost will be much lower. Also, bear in mind that hiring a VA is not an expense, it's an investment in your company, which is your future. Number 3, VAs are more efficient. People often wonder if someone works from home, if the productivity level can be maintained as well as in-house staff. Well, a study has provided the answer. A 2021 study from Global Workspace Analytics found that American Express remote workers are up to 43% more productive than office workers. The same study by software company JD Edwards also reveals that virtual workers are 20 to 25% more productive than on-site employees. Number 4, VA can adapt to flexible work hours. Since virtual assistants can work from anywhere, they can adapt to flexible work schedules, meaning that during the weekends or while you're on holiday, the VA covers for your work. For those who are overwhelmed by work and wish to have a clone you to work for you while you are sleeping, VA is your solution. Number 5, look after yourself. Studies show entrepreneurs experience higher rates of stress and burnout. Why? Because we are doing too much. Handing off routine work isn't just about efficiency, it's a mental health strategy. It lowers your stress, gives you back control, and protects your well-being. Do you see? Do you finally see? It's not about if you're able to do these tasks, it's about if you're the right person doing them. Now let's do a little quiz. Which of these descriptions match your current situation? Tell me in the comments. Number 1, you're always behind deadlines that you set for yourselves. Number 2, you are unwillingly giving up family time for your property business. Number 3, even if tasks are important, it takes you longer to start working on them. Number 4, you need to work in the nights or weekends on your business. Number 5, your mind feels stuck, not knowing what your next steps should be. Number 6, you often feel a stone on your chest. Number 7, you have trouble using a new tool that you subscribed. Number 8, even with the use of AI, you still find tasks never-ending. Number 9, there is already a task in your mind that you are desperate to pass on. Number 10, you wish to have an accountability partner that will push you forward. How many of the above descriptions match your situation? The number of yes indicates how ready you are in need of some external help. Now you might be thinking, I've tried outsourcing before. Maybe you found a VA and you spent weeks training them on what a Section 21 notice is, or how to calculate the ROI, or how to talk to the estate agent, only for them to leave afterwards. That's not saving time, that's creating more work. What if you could skip all of that? What if your VA already knew, such as work out the right marketing price based on research, find deals using your subscribed property tool, create and send out letter campaign, basic deal checking, understand the pre-purchase process, how to manage your social media pages, and also they understand the property language. Let me show you how we helped Daphne, a businesswoman who also has a small portfolio of HMO properties. Before we aligned, she and her husband were the team that worked all year round on their event business. Daphne had to be very hands-on with client communications and all the bookings, not to mention every details at the event. Even though she wanted to grow her HMO portfolio, her hands were tied and there was no way she could have found time to find and analyze deals. The hours that she could spend on property was less than 2 hours per week. After onboarding her property-trained VA, she was able to finally breathe in her event business, and she was able to find more time every week to look through the deals that the VA has brought to her. She has since grown a small portfolio. Her husband, who was very much against the VA idea at the beginning, came to agree that it was one of the decisions that they should have made earlier in their business. The most important thing is that the two of them can now have more time for their 2 kids and for themselves. And Daphne isn't alone. We are very confident we can help you achieve the same result. So, don't ask yourself if you need a VA. The real question you should be asking yourself is, what could you achieve with an extra 8 hours every single week? What deal would you find? What family moment would you get back? Now, on the other hand, our VA who have gone through the training say that I had zero knowledge of UK property investment, but I said yes to VA-Line's training because I saw the opportunity in this growing niche. The training was clear, hands-on, and supportive every step of the way. I now feel confident and ready to explore property opportunities. Thank you to the entire VA-Line team for the knowledge and guidance. And there's one more. Starting with minimal real estate experience and knowledge felt overwhelming at first, but VA-Line's training made everything clear and actionable. Their structured approach helped me understand key concepts like housing regulations and market trends. Our trained VAs are all ready to work on the goals for their next client. Like the careful choice of services we provide and how we crafted our unique VA property training program, we have also put a lot of thought into matching our client with the most suitable VA. After you sign up, we'll send you a free vision creation kit that helps you create your own vision document. This can massively help you gain clarity on your goals. With these sets of clear goals, we'll ask the handpicked VA candidates to record a video about themselves and how they can help you achieve your goals. Once you've decided on the VA you would like to work with, an onboarding date will be set, and that marks the beginning of the handholding period and a wonderful journey to the next level of your business. I know that you might be thinking, now, how much is it going to cost? Can I afford this? But let me ask you this. How many of you have used a sourcing agent before? And how much does it cost to buy one deal from the sourcing agent? It's about $3,500 plus VAT, right? Now, the fixed fee for the entire 6-month handholding period is going to cost lower than this one deal from a sourcing agent. And you are going to have a property trained VA on day one who will be able to help you find so many more deals that match exactly your criteria. Now, I know that you're considering this. Questions come up. Let me answer the top few that I get before we finish. Why choose a property trained VA? The vast knowledge of property investment can easily weigh as much as a university degree, if not more. A lot of effort is required for an investor to find, analyze, and close any deals. The time you need to explain to the VA from scratch can easily be 3 months, and they still don't understand how to best assist you. With training provided from an experienced property investor, highlighting what the VA needs to know to begin their work, when they can help, and what question to ask, the investor can save a lot of time and can take off their business with a chosen VA as soon as they collaborate. So how are the VAs trained? We have developed our unique process to assure that the VAs we introduce to our clients have completed the property training, which includes some basic property knowledge, the pre-purchase process, deal stacking, social media, etc. We can proudly say that all of our VAs align with our company's values. They are engaging, dedicated and reliable, and are willing to take one step further to help their client, and we assure you that they don't disappoint. What are the day-to-day burdens that a VA can take over? Finding on and off market deals, arranging for viewings, preparing letter campaigns, social media platforms, deal analyzing, etc. Almost any desktop task that you're doing can be delegated to a VA. You just need to identify tasks that are preventing you from moving forward and delegate them to your VA. Why 6 months handholding period? After 6 months of working for a client, not only is the VA up to speed, but the VA has understood the company's business so much that they can contribute beneficial ideas to the company or are able to raise questions that are required to make good decisions. We want to maximize the ROI of the client's money and provide the best value, so our service is clearly set out to be a 6-month support. After the 6 months, we'll evaluate the company's situation and see how we can assist you further. Maybe another VA. Remember, this isn't just about hiring help, it's about making a decision to get your time, your freedom, and your peace of mind back. Let's get you started.